Hello, Mr. Andy here. Let's talk about this second part of week 4. Um, and we're looking here at this circular created part. And you can see on the left-hand screen here, I've already created it. I want you to look at the drawing here for a minute so you can kind of understand what this part is. If I get this into kind of a side view here, actually, that's the front view, front and right side here. Then this 102 dimension here to this edge is actually to the back edge of the revolve. And this little 5 millimeters here is this bottle shape or bowling pin, double bowling pin shape, whatever you want to call it, that's sticking out the back, and you can see it here. So that surface in there that goes all the way around is that 5 millimeters that's sticking out. So I'm not going to give anything away here. I just want you to see how this is started. So if we edit the revolve sketch, here's the base sketch, if you will. We'll go normal 2 here, and let's expand this a bit. So I think you can see, get these dimensions out of the way, that I created the whole profile, and I'd like you to do it this way. Create that whole profile, whole and all, around the origin. So the axis is here, and so if I look at that part, we'll slide this over just a little bit. If I look at that part here, I've created this whole contour up to here, all the way up to here, and over and back, not the fillets, but everything else, that whole shape, and then it's revolved all in one shot, and you're done. You don't have to cut the hole in the middle, this weird shaped hole. It's all done in one single revolution, okay? So let's clear that one. And then the second sketch, of course, we'll edit that sketch, and let's go normal 2. And there's the second sketch, okay? So I have this construction circle for the 155 diameter. Let's slide this over here so we can see it. Oops. And so I think that's all on screen now. This 155 diameter that you see there is passes through these 2 arcs. Be real careful. I'm going to zoom way up. When you construct this, most likely something rather odd is going to happen in this area on all 4. Before you try to extrude this thing, you better zoom way up on these spots and see what's going on, okay? Once you've got this shape, then you've just got some fillets on the front, and on the back there's some fillets, and then you've got some hole wizard holes to do. So again, remember all the geometry to locate all these holes on this part has to be in the hole wizard sketch. So when you go to do these 4 holes here, you're going to go to hole wizard, and then when you go into the position tab, you're going to have to create this circle and some construction lines and put in the 30-degree angles to set those up. Do not do that in an advanced sketch. Likewise, this pattern of holes, you'll have to construct a circle and put those in. These 2 holes are just concentric with the end curve. You don't need any construction geometry at all. But do be careful with that. Look carefully where the fillets are on this part so you don't miss anything. I think you can see there's a fillet here. That's a 3X, so there's one here. There's one there and one there. And then there's a R10 fillet here for that surface right there, that corner right there. All right, so that's that one. And I'm going to just throw this away. And now, if we look at this assignment, this one again is rather unique. I'm going to stretch this out. I want you to see this full size. We're doing this in a very unique way. And what we're going to do is on the top plane, I want you to create this sketch. It'll be fully defined, all the dimensions you see here, and then turn it all into construction geometry, every bit of it, okay? And then close that sketch. We're not going to do anything, if you will, with that sketch. We're not going to extrude it or anything. let me show you how to convert a lot of geometry to construction geometry real quick. Here's my finished sketch. I haven't closed it yet. I'm still in the edit mode. And all I'm going to do is window the whole thing, all the geometry. And then right here, this button, I can click on that and it'll turn it into construction geometry. And that button works both ways. So I can also grab geometry and hit that button and turn it back into solid geometry. And you can do this for just one line. So I can click on one line and that button flips it. Okay. So you're going to turn this all into construction geometry, like so, and then close that sketch. All right, let's go to an isometric view, and let's look at our handout here. So this is the part we're going to create. And when we create the exterior shape, and when we do these cuts that are in the middle, except for this 8mm pocket that's an offset, when we do these two internal L-shaped cuts here, we're going to use that layout sketch geometry to do that. So I want to show you kind of what that looks like. Notice that this L shape is cut from right here, and you can see that it has draft angles. So we're going to have to create a plane here, 9mm off the floor, to do the cut from. And then this other one, this L shape, is cut from here. And so we're going to have to create a plane here to do that cut. So let's take a look at what that looks like. I'm going to shrink this down pretty small and get it over here to the side. So let's slide that over, and I don't want to maximize it, so try and be careful not to do that. And I think we can see these few dimensions here, so that'll get us going. All right, so the first thing I want to do is create the main body. It's 30mm thick, 8-degree draft angle. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the top plane. I'm going to start a sketch, and then I'm going to hold my control key down, and I'm just going to pick the outside perimeter geometry here, right off of my layout sketch, and I'm going to convert it. So I'm going to come up here, hit convert. That turned it into solid geometry, and now I'm going to extrude it. We're going to go mid-plane, 30mm, and I'm going to turn on an 8mm draft angle. And we can see it tapering, right? And we'll hit OK. And there's that solid body. Okay, and that looks just like that view right there, right? All right. The pocket on top is 8mm deep, and it has a 6mm all-around dimension, so that's going to be an offset. So we can just click there, start a sketch, offset, 6mm, reverse direction, and then we can go right to extruded cut, 8mm deep, with a draft angle of 8 degrees again. Every cut has a draft angle. And we'll hit OK. Okay, so there's that cut. Now, you can see our layout sketch kind of stuck in the middle there, right? It's right in the center of the part in there. Now, we're ready to do, I'm just going to do one of these. So let's do this one. I need a plane 9mm off the floor, because that's where the dimension comes from. So I'm going to pick the bottom of the part, and then we're going to go to the plane tool. And we're going to say 9mm, and you can see it's going the wrong way, so we're going to reverse direction. So we'll flip that, and we'll hit OK. All right, so you can see in there, let's go to a wireframe here for just a minute. You can see inside there, my layout sketch is in the middle there. I need that geometry to be on that plane. So again, I'm going to start a sketch on the plane that I created. Let's go normal 2. Make sure I'm in the right view here. Yep, okay. Whoop. Yep, we're normal 2. I'm going to pick this geometry with the control key. and we're going to convert. And I want to go to a different view here. You can see where the selected geometry is. When I hit convert, it's going to go onto this plane down here. So we'll hit convert, and you saw it appear. It's the exact profile down on that plane. And let me talk about layout sketches just a little bit and why we would do such a thing. By doing a layout sketch, in a single sketch, we're controlling all the relationships between all this geometry with the dimensions. Very difficult to do if we'd have tried to do this in separate sketches because they all happen on different planes. So this allows us to control all the relationships between the geometry all in a single sketch. And so layout sketches are a very handy and useful tool in SolidWorks when you have all this funny geometry on separate layers and in different planes, and you want to control all those relationships. It's kind of nice to get it all into a single sketch and then just use the convert tool to create each particular feature. So again, we're going to cut this now. So we're going to go to feature. We have to close this. Extruded cut. And we're going to say through all with a draft angle of 8 degrees outward. Okay. And then we've got to go this way too. So we're going to say direction 2. Do not do a midplane here. Absolutely positively do not. You got to go direction 2, 8 degrees draft outward. And we're really not seeing much draft angle there, but hopefully once we hit OK, it'll appear. Yep, you can see it now. So if we went to a true front view here, you can see the draft angles of that cut. Let me go to straight wireframe here. You can see the draft angles here on that cut. All right, we'll go back to solid display, and there's that cut in there. You'll create another plane for this side, up 17, and do the same exact process. Convert and then cut through all in both directions. Okay, so that's this particular part. Now, the last part this week, I'm gonna get rid of this, and I'm actually not going to draw this at all in SolidWorks. I'm just going to lengthen out this screen here, and let's take a look at this. I'll get it as big as I can so you can kind of see what's going on here. See if we can go a notch bigger. There we go. So here we have a front and right side view of this rather bizarre looking cover. Down here I've shown you, this is kind of looking into the front of it, if you will, a little above center, but looking in the front. And this is the back side of it, okay, if we spun it around. You need to be really, really careful about how you set this part up. First of all, I want you to notice that all of the dimensions from left to right are all coming off of this edge. You need to be very careful. I'll be checking for this, that all these dimensions, these 2 dimensions, all these dimensions, everything comes off of this edge. Make sure, like if you're on the back side of the model, this is the front side, if you're on the back side dimensioning these posts, that you're still attaching them to this edge, which when you're backwards might be actually on the right side. I hope that's not too confusing. And then for these posts that are stuck out here, by the way, you're going to create this as a solid body. And there's a couple ways you can attack this. You can extrude this shape back and then do the revolve, or you can do the revolve, probably the easier way is to revolve it first, revolve this part, and then just extrude that front face forward. You can just click on that face and convert and extrude it forward. But then you got to put these on the back side in the solid, and you got to get all the fillets in. This fillet, there's one here, there's one here. You got to put all those fillets in, and the fillets on these bosses. You can ignore these. You should be able to see there's no hole there. These are solid, the ones on the sides, but these are hollowed out. That's why this is in section here, so you can see that those are hollowed out. So get all the fillets in, and then you shell it out. Okay. Once you've shelled it, then you'll have to create a plane right here, 15mm plane, and do the ribs with the rib tool. They have a draft angle, so do watch that. as do these posts have a draft angle. Now, these posts out here, which are solid, they go after the shell. The ribs in these posts will go after the shell. The diameter 625 is out here, not here. So you're going to have to create a plane 812 over to sketch on to draw that 625 circle and extrude it back with a draft angle. This one is 7.75 from this plane. So you'll have to create a new plane from this plane that you created, 7.75 over to here. Again, make sure that's being taken from the left edge of the part when you're in the front view. If these are flipped, the 812 dimension would be over here and the 750 dimension would be over here, and that would be wrong and you're going to have to fix it. So I want you to make sure that you're keeping everything against this edge, because I will be checking that in this model to make sure all these dimensions originate from this edge. So check that yourself as you work. So you'll create those two planes and then draw the two circles, extrude them. You cannot mirror these. You can't use any of those other tools. You've got to do it this way. And then there's finally a hole wizard hole there. This is just a number 10, that's an inch, a number 10 inch flathead screw there. Do notice it's a 100-degree countersink on both ends at a depth of ½ an inch, okay? So read that note carefully to get that hole wizard hole on the two ends here, okay? There's two of them. So give this one a try, it's kind of fun. And again, be careful about dimension location. Do not dimension off of this edge when you've spun it around or something. Make sure all your dimensions are always sourcing off of this edge. This is the datum, if you will, or baseline for all the left to right dimensions. No matter where they go, this way or that way, everything is measured off of this side, okay? Good luck, and as always, enjoy.